because
So welcome back to, oh gosh, I haven't done one of these for ages. So this is an interview with the graduates of the AJC Coaching Career School from 2022. And my amazing guest today is Dorothy Martin. How you doing, Dorothy?
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
okay.
Now, Dorothy and I have been trying to get this together for a while, but for all sorts of logistic reasons, it hasn't quite happened. So if we're both giggling like like little ones this morning, I think part of it is just the anticipation of spending time together. It's also the fact that the school kicks off on Friday.
Yes.
So there's a real, I think, excited energy in the air. So we'll see where the conversation sort of takes us this morning. But kick us off, Dorothy, if you will. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to in the world.
Sure. So what I do is I am a coach. I coach people who struggle with stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and burnout. And that's what I do. I absolutely love one-to-one coaching. And actually, last year, when I came to school, I've decided that I will clear my desk and focus on one-to-one coaching, because I've arrived at the realization that this is what I love the most. And this is where I'm achieving the most amazing impact with people. And prior to coming to school, because I have been trying to, run my coaching practice and business for quite a long time. So, I've graduated, I went to coach to become a coach. I've done a coach training in 2014. In 2016, I've started my business. I've registered my business, Dorothy Martin Limited. So it's been a long time. And as I was trying my best to really start this practice and get this practice going, it was not really happening as easily and smoothly and as I would like. And in that process, I've started to add bits and pieces into, my offerings, because I felt that one-to-one coaching cannot be sustainable for me. So I have started speaking, which I love as well, speaking, and I've grown a speaking kind of practice. I'm registered on with two agencies now. So that I've been doing that. I've been running workshops. I've been doing a little bit of well-being at work, helping organizations around well-being strategies. I have been then doing online training. I've put together online training, and I basically was thinking, I just need to have, wider portfolio of offerings. Mm-hmm. So I became really, really busy in that process, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, really being really, really busy. And then I guess with school, and even prior to that, with reading the Ultimate Coach book at the beginning of last year, that book helped me to revisit actually my commitment. And as I paused and started to look at my commitment to my business and the impact I want to create in the world, I've realized that I was not fully committed, and I have been spreading myself really thinly, and I've been really busy, became really busy, and that was not the commitment. So what happened then, I cleared everything out of my desk in a way, and I created this clearing for myself to really focus on my one-to-one coaching, because this is really, my deepest work. So that's the focus, and that's what I've been doing since last last year, really. I'm a coach. I run a full practice, which I'm incredibly proud of. I
And you
love
should be.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
That's
it. I love working with people. I love seeing the impact. I love having renewals as well. I mean, since last year I've had renewals. So I love seeing how my practice is 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 flowing.
yeah.
Um,
Beautiful.
and yes, so this is in a nutshell who I am. And of
I
course, at
love it.
the end of our conversation, I will share the document. So
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. There's so much in that, in just what you said there. But one thing that really stuck out for me, which I just want to draw out because I think a lot of people watching this are going to relate to that part of your journey where it wasn't quite working the way you wanted it to. And so the natural kind of tendency to that is, oh, okay, I need to get busier then. I need to expand my portfolio, which paradoxically, of course, dilutes the original commitment of wanting to focus on one-to-one. So we get busier, more and more thinly spread. And then something, and I liked what you said there, because what I heard was prior to the school, something was already shifting. You read The Ultimate Coach, you looked at commitment, and you saw that your commitment was to being busy and being
yes,
diluted.
yes,
Like when it comes to awareness, it's like, oh, that's what I'm doing, right? I've
yes.
come away from what I planned to do, and in fact now innocently I'm investing my energy in busy and diluted and not working. And that's such a big step for people, isn't it? Don't you think, to see that we're creating not working? Because it feels like not working is something that's coming this way, like it's happening to us. And it's like, no, 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 no. You're either creating working, like it's working for me, or you're creating it's not working for me. You're never not creating. So I loved that. And then how I love that you said you cleared your desk. You know, I'm an ex-school teacher, so I had fantastic vision of you just sweeping everything off and going back to the beginning and going, okay, well, what do I want Dorothy Martin Limited to be about?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you said, like, the other thing, and I will shut up then. But
Oh,
the other
please
thing you
say.
said was you pointed to your own deep transformation. You said it's about the deepest work, and your hands went here, and I was like, oh, I love that. Right? When you come inside and do your own deepest work, then for me, the natural symptom of that is you're then in a perfect position to offer that to other people. But without that part, it's just like shallow waters, really. There's no depth of being to it. So
Yeah.
yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You've just said it so beautifully,
Thank you.
Dave, so beautifully. And this is really when I reflect on my work prior to coming to the Ultimate Coach book and then the journey that unfolded for me. I was in a way like a little duck, kind of paddling really, really hard to stay on the surface and kind of swim through the waves and and I see that in young coaches coming into this profession and this industry. I see it in people who are trying to lift off the amazing idea and business in their lives. We get busy, and it feels like sometimes so difficult to stop it because it feels like I have to be doing. And there is that piece that deepening to yourself, that slowing down that we continuously talk about. I mean, you hear Ankush talking about it, you hear Steve Hardison talking about it, you hear all my teachers talking about it. I found it really, really hard because I found it like if I stop doing, I will crash and there will be a failure and I won't achieve anything. And that is such a misunderstanding
Yeah,
because
isn't it?
actually,
I loved your little duck analogy there. Like the
yes.
duck is convinced that it's got to keep paddling because
Oh yes.
it's blind to the fact that it's naturally buoyant.
Absolutely.
You just can't see it. It's like, oh, okay, so the way you maintain floating is by pedaling like a maniac. Well, yeah, other than you're already buoyant because you're a duck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we already have this incredible gift built in of knowing what to do next, of knowing what to test, of knowing when to ask, of knowing when to hold back. But in our frenetic attempts to try and replicate something that's already built in, you know, one of the analogies I often think is, you know, watching, and I'm as bad, I'm not criticizing, but watching how much time people spend on their phones, desperately looking for connection. Because really that's what it's all about, isn't it? Social media and whatever. If I can be constantly connecting.
Yeah.
And I think the paradox is that what any of us is missing at that point is we're trying to get back to something that if we just stop, just raises its face and goes, look, I'm connection. It's who you are. I'm already here.
Yeah.
You could no more lose me than, you know, a duck could lose being waterproof.
Yes.
It's just not
Yes.
possible. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Tell me a little bit about your work now. I'd like to hear about that. Like who's coming to you? Who's finding their way for the Dorothy magic? Who are your people?
My people, so who is coming the way to me are people who are paddling really hard on the surface and trying to get the shit done. Sorry for swearing. And trying and trying to achieve amazing goals that they have. People who have amazing hearts and are deeply committed to creating amazing impact in their lives.
Yeah.
And they are paddling. And because they are paddling so hard, they are finding it exhausting.
Yeah.
They are finding it that they have too many things on the list and the list never gets shorter. The list is filling up. Although they keep doing, the list is filling up and they are not getting actually anywhere. They are not getting where they want to be. So I work with business owners. I work with people who are at work and wanting to progress into a next level and somehow they cannot. I work with performers as well, creative people who have been on this journey as well, wanting to create, wanting to perform, and again, not getting there. So the theme is I'm working really, really hard and I'm not getting where I want to be. What is going on? I'm getting exhausted. I'm getting stressed. I'm getting anxious. I'm getting stuck. I feel like I need to give up because it's not happening for me.
Yeah.
And I also work actually with people in the same place around relationships.
Oh,
So
wow. Oh, that's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I can
yeah,
see that. That's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah. And I really I really like what you said there at the end about, you know, the wanting to give up piece. That I think that just identifies, like, my slightly markety brain kicks in and like, yeah. So people who are just putting in all the effort and not creating what they want to create, not seeing the results they want. And
yeah,
then, like, most importantly, they're just at the point of thinking, well, that's not for me, then I'm about to give up.
yeah,
That's such
yeah,
an interesting distinguisher. And I can totally see that, how that would play out in a relationship as well. Well, we reached the end of the tether. What's nowhere else to go? This looks unsolvable. Wow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes, 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 exactly. And it
Beautiful.
looks unsolvable. And you
Yeah.
know, when you arrive at that place that it looks unsolvable, you can't move, it is a really dark place.
Mm.
And I've been there, you know, I've struggled in other before I came into coaching. I've been working as a public health strategist in procurement, etc., busy jobs, but that the pattern was there as well. And I came to the realization, and that was a very dark place for me. And I felt like I was beyond fixing. I've tried everything and nothing worked. I felt like a complete failure, and I fell into a deep depression and also burnout. But my burnout was not just occupational burnout. I felt that it was literally existential burnout.
Wow.
Because the relationship were not working, and I was putting so much effort into creating happy relationship. It was just not working for me.
Wow.
And then work as well. I've tried so many different paths of career to really find that deeper fulfillment. And I was just learning, climbing the ladders. and then arriving in this place, it was like, what the hell I'm doing wrong? It looks like I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and it's just not working. And of course, then you feel like you something wrong with you, and you are beyond fixing. Because
completely, it becomes like an identity, doesn't it? I'm like it stops being an emotion, a feeling, and it becomes, that's who you are. I'm now this person who can't make it work, who can't find a solution. And you're right, that is a very, I recognize that. It's funny when you were saying about how much you struggled, and I know you'll understand when I say this, but the thing that came into my mind was, oh, thank heavens for that.
Oh my goodness me, Dave. Absolutely.
Because it's what produced this sitting in front of me today, conversing. That's just amazing.
Absolutely. And right now, when I talk about that moment in my life, that complete burnout and depression, I talk about it as the worst and the best time of my life.
Yeah, totally.
And I want to say this for anyone who might be experiencing that in their life right now, in this moment.
Yeah.
I really want to say, please know that that darkest place can become the best place, because there is one way up from this place, and this is up towards the light. When you touch deep darkness within you, look around, reach out for help, and the light is there. The light is there, and you will see it.
I love that.
Things can change. I know this because
why I really love that is because the reason I was looking away is because a couple of times things you've said, I've thought, oh, I must connect you with so-and-so, and oh, I must post something else. So that's why I'm looking down and scribbling notes at the same time. But the reason I love what you said there is that, let's take businesses at the moment. If we look at well-being and maybe mental health as well, there's lots of quite a lot of doom about it, right? Actually, what I hear in what you're saying is something really very different. It's like, this isn't something to be afraid of. This isn't something to shy away from. If you've got the right support and people who've maybe been through it and know what's going on, this is like such a turning point for your life. This is a rebirthing. This is like a whole. And I said this to somebody recently, and like, they were talking about all the problems it was with kids, actually. I'm like, oh, it's only a problem if you look at it like that. And they were like, it got a bit of a brusque, because sometimes it just comes out of me. And I went, no, hang on, I'm not saying that people aren't struggling at all, but if you switch the lens and you see that, how it looks to me is that it's more like a consciousness evolution. So in the same way that you might get, I don't know, like measles or whatever, chickenpox when you're a kid, they look like childhood diseases to me that are part of growing up, or you get spots when you're, in your teens and going through puberty or whatever. This kind of like mental reset is an opportunity to bring forth this whole new golden era of expression. And I love that you're articulating it so clearly like that. It's really cool. Really cool.
And you are reflecting it so beautifully, Dave, because that's exactly what it is. That
Yeah.
is an opportunity for rebirth,
Yeah. That's it.
opportunity to take a new path,
Yeah. Yeah.
opportunity to stop and really see what is going on,
Yeah.
but really drop into your heart, or as you said at the very beginning, that kind of deepest work. Because
Yeah.
if there is a struggle that, you know, we face, and let's face it, I'm not out of this, there are struggles continuously coming up for my life,
Yeah.
100% all
Yeah.
the time.
Life has a really beautiful way of
Yeah,
like going, here you go, have another one.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing journey. And there is
Yeah.
there is an opportunity, and there is always the deepening. There is always creating yourself anew. There is always learning. And I love it because that's exactly it. And I feel that if we don't learn, the challenge will be repeating. The
Yes.
challenge will be coming back.
Yeah.
And once you really attend to this challenge with your full awareness and with your full heart and with openness of really learning,
Mm.
you can transform it,
Wow.
and that is beautiful.
I
And I
love how you speak. There's such impact in how you share. It's just, yeah, I can see so clearly why speaking is a draw, because of where you speak from, of who you're being when you speak in that way. It's really fantastic. I love it. And business particularly, like, really needs it. It needs that, you know, and I think particularly with the whole birth of AI and very fast paced still and whatever. You're right. I was saying to my sons are, you know, in their late teens, and I was saying what's staggering for me at the moment, I'm in, you know, my mid 50s, heading towards the 6-0. I said, what's amazing for me, particularly with things like strikes and stuff like that, is it's just like when I was a kid. We're back into the 70s. It's the same cycle of stuff. And it's like, whoa, you think we might have developed a more sophisticated mechanism currently, but no, we're held in this double bind of a society that just doesn't work for don't get me started anyway, but it just doesn't work for so many people, you know. And then it's this very small group of people pretending that they're fixing it. Well, you're really not, guys, because every day, I don't anymore, actually. I just don't watch the news or anything. But when I was, I'd wake up and it'd be like, oh, it's the same stuff, the same stories I heard when I was a child. So I think that the more of us that are able to devote ourselves and commit to bringing this to light and showing it and offering a path that isn't full of personal suffering and anguish, but is one really full of joy and enrichment and enlightenment, not in the, oh, I'm enlightened sense, but in the true, like bigger consciousness sense. I just think that's so exciting. I was a bit gloomy about prospects a few years back, and now I'm like, oh no, I was just, you know, caught in my own thoughts. Like, this looks cool to me. Looks like we're heading to a good place. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, with with the work that we do,
Mm.
there is so much possibility,
Mm.
so much possibility. And yesterday, I've shared my document on a few platforms on Facebook. And I have to say the document has been one of the deepest work that I've done, if not the deepest work that I've done.
Wonderful.
And, you know, Steve Hardison, I've mentioned to you, Dave, Steve Hardison called me, and we've had this beautiful exchange when he really acknowledged me so deeply, so deeply. He acknowledged my work. He acknowledged the depth of my document, and he congratulated me on this. But I've thanked him for the bottom of my heart for bringing this work to light.
Yeah.
Light and to life.
Yeah.
Because I feel that if we can awaken the light of being within every single person, that being will inform the actions. That being will call us. That being will move us to the solutions that we cannot find in our mind from the level of the problem. And I really, in my conversation with Steve, I felt I just saw this huge, huge possibility. And I really feel that we are ready for it. The world is ready for this
But
work.
completely. I just want to say, just for you and for people listening, right?
Mm.
If you go back and re-listen to about the last 2 minutes of how you spoke about that, you'll hear that golden era that you're describing. Like it was. I've done quite a lot of these interviews. That was one of the most powerful, like, tiny segments that I've heard in all of them. Where that came from and how you spoke, that was just, yeah, I'm still goosebumps. It's breathtaking. That's beautiful. And I think the real power of it is that when you spoke about how Steve acknowledged you, I felt acknowledged. And that's just amazing, isn't it? That really shows you the practically the interconnectedness of everything. Like there's this incredible guy creating time to acknowledge you. You're acknowledging him through your thanks. I'm sitting here in a sense as an innocent bystander, and I'm welling up as if I'm the one being acknowledged, because I am. An acknowledgement for a one is an acknowledgement for all. Automatically, that's how it plays out. Wow. Look, Dorothy, we could talk about this stuff all day.
Yes.
Probably we will over the weekend, I imagine. So what I'd love for you to do, two things, please. Number one, tell people how they can get hold of you, what the best way to do that is. And then after that, I'd love for you to share your document, and then that will conclude today's conversation. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful it took us all this time to get here, because I know that the power of this today has been born out of that time and that nurturing and what's gone on for both of us. So thank you so much.
Dave, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, you've exactly showed how this work ripples in its impact. You've exactly reflected that, you've demonstrated it. And thank you so much for your invitation. I was so honored to be invited to these conversations as I may say, one of the first people. And I was like, wow, I was so honored and I was excited. So I'm so glad that we've managed to come together and speak. I really, really loved it, Dave. And you are such a powerhouse of energy and creation. You just give me so much inspiration, and you really hold the light of possibility for me and for single person in the school, and not only for every single coach. I absolutely love how you're showing up. You are my true torch of achievement and success. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
How to find me? My website, dorothymartin.com, or I'm on Facebook. hello@dorothymartin.com is hello@dorothymartin.com is my email address. So yeah, easy to find me. And I'll share my document. Thank you for inviting me to do that. The process that I went with Ankush to create this document has been truly sacred. This is literally the word that I would use. It's been difficult. It's been challenging for me. I've been stuck in a lot of judgments, and the light the love of Ankush and people in school kind of pulled me through it. So it's my deepest honor today to share my document with you and everyone who's listening. So thank you. I am pure gold. I am pure brightness. I am intelligence of the universal mind playing the game of life. I am divine radiance. I am powerful force of light. I am the gift from God. I am pure wisdom. I am the highest perspective. I am the depth of understanding. I am invaluable contribution, building bridges, bringing peace, and revealing solutions. I am the knowing that lives in my heart. I am free to sing my song. I am that I love my voice. I am that I belong. I am the spice of life you will never forget. I am that I speak with passion, energy, and swagger. I am that when I speak, I'm safe. I am that when I speak, I serve. I am always heard, and I hear you. I am always noticed, and I notice you. I am always seen, and I see you. I am always loved, and I love you. I am your trusted friend. I am magnetic. I am sexy, sassy, and classy. I am passionate lover of life. I am free-spirited self-expression. I am that my self-care is my superpower. I am that each judgment, my own or yours, is my ticket to freedom. I am that my love for my husband Paul is for eternity. I am the solid stand for love, peace, and harmony in every relationship, and it's never too late. I am the greatest coach, mentor, and guide in the history of humankind. I am the powerful thought leader. I am creator of miracles. I am deep listening space where you can find your true voice. I am the solid ground where you can find your footing. I am your homecoming. I am the launchpad for your success. I am the embodiment of wild dragonfly, the symbol of change, healing, and transformation. I am that creating is as life-giving as breathing. I am that creating money is the greatest fun on earth. I am the masterful teacher of prosperity, love, and life. I am a multi-millionaire. I am that money is not mine. I am that love is not mine. I am that life is not mine. I am flow of life. I am always grounded. I am that I mean business. I am perfect stillness. I am pure love. I am fearless. I am that my word is my sword. I am the master of attention, intention, and action. I am that the right time is now. I am the greatest success on this planet. I am free. This is who I am. This is who I create myself to be. And my parents named me Dorothy.